Right now, somewhere at 35,000 feet, someone is paying $15,000 an hour to drink top-shelf champagne out of a paper coffee cup because the ground crew forgot to load real glassware. They are not flying first class, they aren't even on a commercial airline. They bought a ticket to the most financially absurd experience in modern luxury, the private jet charter industry. On the surface, flying private seems like an effortless cash cow. You buy a shiny plane, rent it out to celebrities and tech CEOs, and watch the millions roll in. But if you look underneath that polished leather interior, you will find one of the most brutal, chaotic, and bizarre financial ecosystems on planet Earth. This is an industry where you can collect a $50,000 wire before lunch and still somehow go bankrupt by next Tuesday. To understand how this circus actually works, you first have to realize that buying a jet is notoriously terrible financial advice. A decent light jet will cost $3 million used, while a new Gulfstream G650 pushes past $65 million. And that price tag is just the entry ticket to a bottomless pit of maintenance, hangar fees, and insurance. For most ultra-wealthy individuals, letting a multi-million-dollar asset sit on the tarmac collecting dust makes 0 sense. So they hand the keys over to a private jet charter company to rent it out. This brings us to the core business model. Charter companies rarely own the jets you see in their slick promotional videos. Instead, they act as high-end matchmakers. The deal is simple. The jet owner pays the heavy maintenance bills, while the charter company handles the scheduling, crew, and logistics. In exchange, the charter company takes a clean 15% management fee off every single flight hour sold. The rest goes to the owner to offset their eye-watering ownership costs. To keep the cash flowing, charter operators rely on two main buyers. The first is direct chartering, where a client pays a flat hourly rate that ranges from $4,000 to over $20,000 depending on the aircraft. The second is jet cards. These are essentially prepaid gift cards for rich people, where clients deposit $250,000 up front in exchange for locked-in hourly rates. This provides charter companies with massive upfront cash flow, which they desperately need, because running this business requires an absurd amount of working capital. So if the financial stress is so intense, why is demand higher than ever? Why do people pay 10 times the price of a commercial first-class ticket? The entire demand side thrives on a single psychological trigger: extreme time compression. A commercial flight from Los Angeles to San Francisco might only take an hour in the air, but when you factor in driving to a major terminal, TSA security, waiting at the gate, and waiting for baggage, you have burned 4 hours of your life. A private charter reduces that entire process to 15 minutes. You drive your car directly onto the tarmac, walk 4 steps up the air stairs, and take off. For a hedge fund manager closing a multi-billion-dollar deal, saving 3 hours is not a luxury. It is a cold math problem where the math overwhelmingly favors the jet. Of course, status plays a massive role too. People do not just buy a charter flight, they buy the right to post a photo on social media walking up the air stairs. The industry is so hyper-focused on this image that companies build entire revenue streams around catering to high-end oddities, from custom Michelin star dining to specialized pet travel, where pampered French bulldogs get their own leather seats and crystal water bowls. Now imagine you're running one of these charter companies on a high-stakes Friday afternoon. You just sold a peak season flight from Teterboro to Aspen for $20,000. Everything looks great until a toilet valve jams on the ramp, grounding the aircraft instantly. In commercial aviation, an airline just swaps the gate. In private chartering, your customer is furious and you are legally obligated to provide a mechanical recovery. You now have to call a competitor and rent their plane at the last minute for $35,000. In a single phone call, your $5,000 profit margin vanishes, and you just paid $15,000 for the privilege of working today. And here's the dirty secret operators don't want you to know. 40% of these $60 million jets are flying through the sky completely empty. If a client hires a jet to take them to Las Vegas, that plane eventually has to fly somewhere else to pick up its next customer. Flying a massive machine with 0 paying passengers on board is the aviation equivalent of burning stacks of $100 bills just to keep the cabin warm. When you add wild fuel price swings, thousands of dollars in airport landing fees, and $10,000 winter de-icing bills, the profit margins for charter companies collapse down to a razor-thin 3 to 8%. The biggest mistake new players make is assuming high revenue equals high profit. They see tens of millions of dollars flowing through their bank accounts and forget that 95% of that money is already spoken for before the wheels leave the ground. Look at what happened to JetSmarter. They raised hundreds of millions in venture capital, promising to be the Uber of private jets, selling discounted memberships and unlimited flights. They quickly discovered why Uber's math breaks down when applied to 10-ton aluminum tubes flying at 500 miles per hour. You cannot software engineer your way out of the fixed costs of jet fuel and turbine overhauls. JetSmarter burned through its capital, faced massive legal battles, and was eventually sold off after its business model collapsed under the weight of reality. When done right, private jet chartering is a fascinating study in economic balance. It survives because it takes an asset that makes no financial sense to own and turns it into a platform that keeps an entire ecosystem of pilots, mechanics, and dispatchers employed. It is a high-stakes, low-margin, high-stress game hidden behind golden tray tables and soft leather seats. The private jet industry does not actually sell transportation. It sells control over time for those who can afford it. So the next time you see a private jet cutting through the sky on Instagram, ask yourself, who is really losing money on that flight?